Hello, thank you for coming. I am Epic Banana, and today I'm going to be reviewing and analyzing the new 1.16.100 plus Bedrock Edition console world record for random seed glitch this. This was done by Top Pilot on, I hope I'm saying that correctly, about a week ago, and it's crazy. As you can see, so this says 18 minutes. I believe the actual time is like 18 minutes, 28 seconds. It is an insane run, and I just really wanted to go over it. Go check out their channel. Obviously, a very talented speedrunner. I hope to see more of them in speedrun.com. This is such a good run. So, yeah, the run is loading up now, and let's get into it. So, they spawn in a pretty solid area. There's plains, desert, and I believe there's savanna that you can see at a certain spot. I'm not certain. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. So they're going for this tree because they're going to go into the desert. Since desert villages don't have any wood, you always want to just chop a tree first. So, yeah, they get the tree and they are now running into the desert looking for some form of structure, and they aren't seeing any. So, most runners here would either run a bit further or reset. There is a pillager outpost, but, like, the nearest village is still far away. What they do, instead of resetting or running further and wasting time, they just go into the nearest cave. No structures whatsoever. They just go into a cave and are just going to play their run in this cave. You can see that they've made bowls for mushroom soup, and like they have some gravel right there. They are just going to get their tools and just play the cave. That is it. This alone makes this run insane. 99% of runners, I would say, I know that I would either reset or keep running for a village or a desert temple or something. But instead, they did this, and it got them the world record. That's what's amazing. It got them the world record. Like, if they had just reset it, then they would have lost the seed. Never would have known how good it was. And honestly, this kind of makes me scared that, like, I've missed a seed like this before just by resetting, just because I didn't see anything. But they do get quite lucky because, as you saw, they dug onto iron. And then as they're digging down, boom, there's more iron that they dig onto. So this cave was very lucky in its own right. They ran down, there was gravel right there, and then look, they dig right onto a cave at a good level for lava to spawn, and there's a lava pit over there for them to be able to make their portal. So, and there's water right there. So, for them to be able to play just a straight cave run, they need iron, they need water, and they need lava. Bare minimum. Like, coal would be useful, flint would be useful for gravel, and they got both of those, but bare minimum, they need iron, lava, and water, and they got all of that right here. The fact that the water is just sitting there, that is super lucky. So, what I was thinking as I was watching this one was, dang, this overworld is actually very lucky, just not in a way that most overworlds are. So, they're building the portal here. I'm pretty sure they're using a controller, so this is some very good portal building. It's on console, like they could be on mouse and keyboard, but by their movements, it definitely looks like they're on controller. So that's some very impressive portal building for just being on a controller. I know that I couldn't do it like that when I'm not on a mouse. And they enter in at about the 3-ish minute mark. So, that's solid. So, they come in, not the best spawn. They're kinda in a cave, but luckily there is an opening around here. So, they instantly grab some mushrooms, because since they're coming in with literally no food, they need mushrooms for mushroom soup. And there's a fortress right there, as you saw. They literally just saw a fortress right off the bat, so that's very good, because, you know, fortresses and bastions in Bedrock Edition are very rare. Then they're looking around to try and find a bastion while they're gathering up mushrooms, because you do not want to charge into a fortress. No food, no shield, no fire resistance. So they're kind of half gathering up mushrooms, half looking for a bastion. And there it is right there. This is a very good seed. So they play this phenomenally. They play this so phenomenally. Like, their bastion rooting is so good. And that piglin, they didn't actually hit the piglin. The piglin just fell. So this is a housing bastion. I don't know how early they could tell that it was a housing bastion, but they could tell it was a housing bastion way before I could. Because I don't know how they could just tell instantly, because they ran to like the perfect spot for it. So when I was watching this run, I was just trying to figure out what bastion it is, and I think they like already know what bastion it is right now. So yeah, it's housing. It was around here that I could tell that it was housing. So they come over here, they block off piglins, and they dig down here, so that way they didn't have to run through more piglins. Normally you just run down, but that was very smart by them. Just instead of taking the pathway to get down here, they just ran straight down, so that way they didn't have to deal with piglins or piglin brutes, because they have no armor right now. They're completely armorless. So here's a fun little like block placement there, and there you can see there are piglins and piglin brutes. And here's why I think that this is so impressive. This is 0.100 plus, so bad piglin trades, and there are piglin brutes. So they ran this flawlessly, and the fact that they just dug down into this area instead of running through the paths to avoid the piglins, that was super smart. I don't know if they normally do that or if that was like an improvisation thing right there, just since they didn't have any gold armor, but either way, super smart. So then they know where this chest is and get some obsidian, which of course is good for the blind travel. If you don't know, blind traveling is just building a portal in the nether somewhere to try and get to the stronghold. And as of right now, so there are a bunch of piglins that didn't go in the hole. Kind of annoying. They have to deal with that. And what I was thinking when I was watching this is a very Java edition Bedrock run. And what I mean by that is just they ran this bastion route like very well. They went in for mushroom soup, like no village. With most very good Bedrock edition times, the runner finds the stronghold before they go into the nether, because strongholds spawn under villages. So in most good Bedrock times, they just dig under the nearest village, get into the stronghold, and play from there. But this runner is entering in just, nothing. They came in with next to nothing. And so they're coming back down. They know where all of these gold blocks are, which is very impressive. I mean, I don't know bastions that well. That's something that I need to work on, and this run has definitely inspired me to get better at it. So right now they're going up to the chests at the top, I believe, because there's some chests at the top of the housing bastion. Yeah, right here. So there's a bunch of obsidian there. So, and they get full golden armor, which is fun. Which, it's always funny when you just get full armor in a speed run. It's just no one really goes for armor except like one piece of gold armor in a speed run, because it's too slow to get. But it is very nice if you can get it. Just especially for the blaze fight, just know that you can tank a hit or two. So now they are going back down to check on how their piglins were going. And they let them trade for this long because, it's 0.100 plus, so it's a 2.7% chance to get a pearl, and you only get 2 to 4 pearls. And bam, they have 16 pearls right there. I mean, not 12. 12 pearls right there. And a bunch of fire resistance. They have 24 obsidian. They're just clearing out their inventory. And if, they have to be pretty lucky with their pearls, because, not insanely lucky, but since they only have 12, they cannot use any to just, travel around. And if any breaks, the portal has to be a one-eye. So they go ahead and make a bow here and an iron sword, just with all of their extra string and iron that they got. And just making sure that they didn't miss anything important. And then they are leaving this. So let's see, right now. So they entered around the 3-ish minute mark. It's now roughly, I'd say the 8-minute mark. So they're leaving this bastion sub 10 time, which that's very good. That is very good. Super impressive by them to just The bedrock category is not nearly as developed, and this is just such a good run. It's so impressive. Just like Mouse's run that got the pre-point 100 world record. It was very impressive, but it was just much more luck based. This was very, you could see a lot of skill in this runner, and Mouse has a lot of skill as well. But this runner right here, I already forgot their name. Tylopodon. I don't remember. They're so skilled. So now they're going to run back over to the fortress that they saw earlier, which is right there. This soul speed is definitely helping. They can just cruise through the Soul Sand Valley. And they're entering the fortress at about the 10-minute. I think sub 10. I think still a little less than the 10-minute mark, because the run didn't start until a little bit into the run, like 40 seconds into the run. Okay, so then about the 10-minute mark. So they're still gathering up more food because they still don't have much food. Their food management is insane this run. So good. So they're looking for the blaze spawner, and there are a bunch of blazes there. So they go ahead and throw their fire resistance now. And now they are killing blazes. It lags a bit there, and they are now currently 1 for 2. I don't remember what a go for blazes. I think it's relatively average. Nothing, it wasn't awful. So they hear a bunch of blazes, and are able to find the spawner just by hearing the blazes. So they're now 2 for 3, or 2 for 4, 3 for 5, and 4 for 6. So right now, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so good. They're on an insane, and then 2 spawn right here. But now they are 5 for 7, and then 4 for 7, 5 for 8. So they're 5 for 8 right now. So they started out with like the best blaze drop ever, and their spawn rates. Look at how often these blazes are spawning. But then they go for this, so they end up going 6 for 10, which that's pretty average. 6 for 12 is the perfect 50-50, so a bit above average. But their spawn rates were so good. So here is, I love this part of the run so much. This has to be my favorite, even more than just charging into a cave. So they throw a pearl, an eye, and they're going back into the nether. So why would they be doing that? They are using educated travel. They're yeah, educated travel, that's what it's called. So it's I've never seen educated travel done on Bedrock Edition, literally never. Essentially what it is you go into the overworld, throw an eye, go back into the nether, run in the direction that the eye went, and build another portal. It's honestly kind of rare to even see it on Java, because it's rare that someone gets enough obsidian, but you saw they got a lot of obsidian. And it's so much more difficult to do it on Bedrock Edition because you don't have the F3 screen, so you can't see the perfect angle of the pearl to know exactly which direction it's going in. In Java Edition, with that, they also use distance estimation to like know roughly how far away they're going to go. They just know, this person just knows that it's in this general direction. So they go ahead and build it at the other side of the fortress, and are now leaving around the 13-minute mark. Sub 13. Amazing pace, by the way. So it takes a while to load, and there is a village right there. And guess what? You will see soon. Do you think it's the Stronghold village? Let's find out. So they're just setting up their inventory, and if this is a Stronghold village, then, that's such a good educated travel, and that's why educated travel is so good. They go ahead and grab a couple of carrots, just to have a little bit more food. You can never be too safe with that, really. And they're going to a good spot to throw their eye. They want to go towards the center of the village, that way they just know exactly where it is. And boom. It's right here. They educated traveled. That they were less than 50 blocks away from the village that had the stronghold. That's so awesome. This run, like, they knew. They just went into a cave with no structures, and got all that stuff in the cave, which that cave was very lucky. Then they played the Bastion flawlessly. So well. They had to deal with pigs and brutes and bad pigs and traders, and they did it so well. And now they dig into the Stronghold, and they're not even in the starting room, which is very annoying. But then, they're shaking their head because they're not in the starting room, which is not good. They get a pearl there. Because the portal is, like, less than 5 rooms away from the starting room. And, so it's a good start at the starting room so you know where it can be. But here it is. It's a one-eye. And then coming off the Bastion, like, they educated, traveled. It was just... This run's amazing. So they're just setting their inventory up so that way they don't mess anything up as they're going in. Because you just have to imagine how nervous they are right now. They just entered the Nether at, like, the 15-minute mark. That's insane. This is, like, possible sub 16 if they got an Insta-Perch, which they might have gotten an Insta-Perch, but that Enderman distracted them. So, by the time they get up, the dragon could have already flown away. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the dragon has already perched right now, but they missed it because of the Enderman. That Enderman was so unlucky, and it kind of kept this run from being like sub 16, sub 17, sub 18. This dragon fight is the most unlucky part of the run. As you can see, look, there's still 3 minutes left. They have to wait for this dragon for 3 minutes before it perches. That is just awful. It is horrendous. Look, absolutely horrendous. And all just because that Enderman aggroed. Because 99% of the time in Bedrock, I've noticed, if you can pearl onto the perch area instantly, the dragon will perch almost instantly. This usually happens. When I was watching this, I thought that was the perch, but no, the dragon just completely juked them out. And now they're shooting crystals while they wait, and they look at another Enderman, which, well, they didn't really look at the Enderman. Another fake perch! They didn't really look at the Enderman. The Enderman just walked in front of them and then got offended, which, that was not cool, Mr. Enderman. But, so, like, 2 fake perches, which was very not cool. The Endermen are being very annoying, and now they're just waiting. This is still solidly world record time, because the world record is like a 24 minute time, I believe, before this. So, this is still solidly world record time, but it's just a matter of how much time they can get. Like, how good can this really be? And the dragon still just will not perch. Flies near it, but doesn't. This dragon is probably one of the worst dragons I've ever seen. Look, they moved, they thought it would perch later, and nope, it's just shooting at them. This dragon is awful. Ugh, like, I'm happy they still got world record. They deserve it. And it just freezes there. This dragon just does not want to cooperate. It wasted so much time on this run. This run could have possibly been sub 16 and at least sub 17. And now it isn't even sub 18. But still, finally the dragon perched. They took a second to move just because it's been so mean to them. So here's the dragon fight. We love loud dragons. They get the double damage bug. Hit it a couple of times. Start bridging up for the lava. There's just a Bedrock Edition 1 cycle. This is the first ever sub 20 .100 plus run. So, GG. They set up their beds, and they now have the Minecraft Bedrock Edition Random Seed Glitchless .100 plus console world record. Wow. They have to be so happy right now. This is the most impressive Bedrock Edition run I've ever seen. Hands down. It's not the fastest, but it's the most impressive. Like, just going through this. They chop the tree. So they chop the tree and then just head into a cave. And then, their cave is super lucky, and they get their lava, all that, and then they are going through, and they get to the Bastion. They play the Bastion so well. I mean, they just run through those piglins. They already know it's housing, which was very good. And then dig down to get to their route. Then they play this very well. And then at the fortress, there's the educated travel, which this is so smart. So smart. I don't know how many people would think to do that, but they did. And this, like I said, most impressive run I've ever seen. Like, I really like how much the set seed this category has been developing on Bedrock. Like, we're so close to a sub 330. It's awesome. But this really shows you how skillful the speedrunner is. So yeah, please show them some love. Their channel link will be in the description. And I hope that you enjoyed this analysis of this run. I'm still blown away by it. I will always be blown away by this run. GG to them, and I hope that the Bedrock Edition category keeps on developing with people like this running in it. So yeah, thank you for coming. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, I'd appreciate a subscription. If not, thank you for coming anyways. And I hope to see you in another one of my videos. Goodbye, everyone.